there is some redundant information in any that may be found in any research paper, and one of these is writing about ourselves. So unless required otherwise by the authors, editors, do not write about yourself, the authors, as this is ambiguous. Instead, write we or I, if necessary, or use expressions like in this study, or our results, or in our opinion. It is just a small comment, not to use the word author, authors. And note that we should write this study only if we mean your new results. If you mean a publication mentioned in a previous sentence, write that study. If you mean authors of a cited publication, write those authors. It's an interesting point to keep in mind. When the work has been finished, when the article has been translated, it is a very useful thing to read the text loud, to check punctuation, and in general, it also helps to see if the text is easy to comprehend and see. All intonation breaks necessary for proper understanding should be denoted with commas or other punctuation marks. Note the difference between no more data are needed and no more data are needed. So commas matter. Because there are more than one variants of the English language, and two main ones, of course, British and American. Usually, there are either requirements of the editorial board for about what variant to use, or you should be just consistent in your spelling. Follow either British or American rules for spelling and date notation. For example, you see 21st of January 2009 in British, or January 21st, 2009 in American English. And we always need to check or ask the author whether the target journal uses American and British spelling, and then use that setting on your word and grammar check. I know that some publications require just consistency. If you choose to write in British variant, then you should stick to it throughout the paper, and the same is about American version. And to have higher quality, it is better to ask somebody else to read your translation and to see if there are any ambiguous fragments. There are some problems that are found in English, in articles written in English, and what's interesting that one of them is that many English words are empty. It's the same thing as about the Ukrainian scientific style, and they do not add information but require the reader to fill in information or context to be understood. So they distract the reader from the content of the paper. The reader is forced to supply his or her own interpretation, which could be different from what you the writer, mean, or in our case, we translators try to render. Empty words seem to give information, and uncritical readers do not notice them. That is why they work so well for marketing texts. However, empty words do not belong in articles reporting scientific research. Empty words require the reader to supply the meaning, and it's very dangerous. Concise and clear communication requires words that convey specific meaning. To summarize what I've already said, I would like to pay your attention to several things. First of all, we need to understand what we are translating. If we do not understand, we'd better not take this job at all. Um, if we come across any unclear sentence, phrase, or paragraph, we'd better stop and mm, think it through, find more information about that, consult with the author, and do as much as possible to gain the understanding. We need to find key terms important for the paper and make sure that not more than one or two of them are abbreviated throughout the article. If they are abbreviated, we need to give definition in the beginning. If there are more abbreviations which are rare and which uh, uh, do not sound good when abbreviated, we're free to use full forms of these terms. We should also find key words which they're usually written in the beginning of any research paper. If we are talking about journals, about books and manuscripts, it is a bit more difficult. Uh, but these keywords should be translated consistently, and even more of them should be found in the text, and they are to be translated in the same way. Next, we should avoid empty words. Now, for the reasons given in the guidelines and from the laws of common sense as well, because empty words distracted the reader's attention from the content and meaningful part of the paper. And moreover, some readers may try to find and fill in these empty words with some specific meaning, which is even worse.